Depression doesn't always look like someone who can't get out of bed. Sometimes it looks like the loudest person in the room. Sometimes it looks like the funniest person in the room. Behind closed door, that person is silently suffering. And in our children, sometimes depression looks like them scrolling on their phone, just aimlessly scrolling, tucked away in their bedroom. And you know that something is wrong, but you just can't seem to put your finger on it. In our community, we don't talk enough about how depression affects our young people. We chop it up to they're being lazy, disrespectful, and just too much in their feelings. This is what depression actually looks like in young adults. One, they withdraw. You see them just tucked away in their room and just wanting to be alone. They don't want your advice. They don't want to hear anything from you. They are just by themselves 24/7. Sometimes they don't even bathe, guys. Yes, especially if you have a boy. Sometimes they don't even want to bathe. And they're just tucked away, not wanting to talk, and sometimes not even wanting to eat. The second thing is that their grades are going to slip, right? You have a smart kid. You see them studying, but the truth is that when a person is going through depression, especially at such a young age, they really can't focus. I've seen it with my own son where he's trying to focus. He said, Mom, it's not like I'm not trying. I'm trying. It's just I just really cannot focus on what I'm doing. It's almost as if there's an invisible force stopping me from focusing on what I'm doing. So you'll see that their grades are going to slip. The key, I think, is just to try to follow them through every step of what they're going through and understand that it's not that the child is lazy, especially if you do know your child and if you do also know that there are factors that could contribute to this child actually going through depression. You have to wake up and open your eyes and know that you need to find a way to help them to get through it. The next thing to look out for is for them sleeping too much or too little. It goes hand in hand with them being tucked away every time you peep in the room, them sleeping. Or if you peep in the room at 2 a.m., they are up and wide awake. Why are you up at 2 a.m.? The brain cannot rest because, believe it or not, our young people, especially our young adults, they struggle a lot in this time with what am I going to do with my life? What is out there to be done? I feel like my son struggled with that. He's 19 now, but in this season, he was worried about what he was going to do with himself. And there was this big, heavy burden on him, not wanting to let me down and to let people down because he felt like he has gotten this great opportunity that a lot of our family members didn't get. Of course, if you're not getting any sleep, you're going to be irritable. And that shows up a lot in our young men. As a boy mom, I can tell you that my son had a temper. I have a temper. And I was like, this temper is way more than mine. So irritability will show and rear its ugly head, especially when you are a boy. You will also see a child losing interest in stuff that they like. Usually my son would like basketball. He would like boxing. All of a sudden, the boxing gloves are off. You're not bouncing a ball anymore. You don't even want to go outside. When my son relish in going outside, he loves outdoors. He loves when it's sunny. And so when you see that the child is no longer interested in things like that, then you have to take a step back and say, what's going on? The last thing I would say to look out for is those eyes. Your child will be saying that I'm fine. The eyes are the window to the soul. And the child will be saying I'm fine. But when you look into your child's eyes, you say, something is wrong. If you see that, do not ignore it. Because that feeling of saying something is wrong, you're right, something is wrong. If you see it in their eyes, it means that something is actually wrong. If you are a mother, a father, a auntie, a uncle, a mentor, pay attention to the children who are around you. Ask uncomfortable questions, probing questions. Don't take everything that they say at surface level, because a child going through depression and actually acting on things that they're feeling, we know what the consequences of that are. If you're a young person watching this, your feelings are valid. It is not weakness, and you really do not have to carry it alone. Inbox me if you want somebody to talk to. Love you guys.